Welcome, welcome, longtime friends of all dimensions, here and not here. It's so wonderful to be together to practice yoga. And I am so excited for spring and the beauty of all that's bursting forth out of the earth and through the plants, and the birds are singing, and even the gophers have returned, or the moles, I don't know which, because I never actually see them, but I see their work popping up all over the place. And in a very strange way, I'm even happy to see them with all their activities that seem so destructive. Life is bursting forth, and I feel it in my heart. And since this is yin this morning, it just felt like, oh, heart yin. Heart yin is how it feels to me. So that's what we'll be practicing is heart yin. And I'm excited to practice with each of you. Excited and happy and feeling even grounded in all of that, all of those feelings. So I invite you to join me. Take a seat, get comfortable on your seat, and close your eyes or lower your eyelids. And begin to settle down towards the earth, the wonderful, nurturing earth below. Feeling supported and stable through the sits bones and the legs. And do imagine your tailbone like a taproot, drawing down to draw up the nutrients from the natural world, bringing it all the way up and into your very own body and up your spine, and lifting you through the crown of your head. Imagine yourself blooming like a lovely daffodil or iris. And feeling that wonderful sunshine from above. And then withdraw the awareness, your attention inside. And feel that expansive inner world welcome you. And let yourself become more tuned in to your inner body. Feeling the breath as it flows in through the nostrils, lifting the heart and expanding the belly, and then flows out again. Slow the breath cycle down, so your exhalations are longer than your inhalations. Let your shoulder blades rest on your back ribs. And if it feels resonant for you, let a half smile come to your lips, inviting all your neurotransmitters to come and produce serotonin and all the feel-good neurotransmitters. And as you breathe in this sweet space, See if there's some inner wisdom, inner guidance, or an intention that you can bring with you to your practice. And rooting oneself into these sweet intentions or the inner wisdom that speaks. Let's practice some metta for all beings on this spring day. May all beings be happy and peaceful. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings be safe and protected from inner and outer harm. May all beings be filled with loving kindness and forgiveness for themselves as well as for others. May all beings live with ease and with grace. May all beings be happy and peaceful. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings be filled with loving kindness and forgiveness. May all beings live with ease and grace. May all beings be happy and peaceful. May all beings be healthy and strong. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings be filled with love and kindness and forgiveness. And may all beings live with ease and grace. And now please bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra right in front of your heart. You can bring your thumbs to your sternum, reminding your heart that you are remembering your heart. Let's chant one Om together. Take a couple of cleansing breaths first. A deep breath in and let it go. And another one like that. And let that one go. And inhale now and let's begin. Om. And release your hands. Let them come to your lap or your legs, wherever it feels best. And lift your eyelids. Let your vision return with ease. And let's come to puppy pose, Anahastasana. And because we'll be there for a while, you might want to bring a blanket under your knees and a block, or excuse me, 2 blocks overhead. So in Anahastasana, you can first come to table pose and keep your hips right over your knees And then lengthen your arms overhead. Find your blocks for your arms. Keep your knees hip-width distance apart, and we're going to take the elbows to the blocks and the hands behind the head, fingertips to the sky in prayer hands. Draw the belly in. I like to keep my feet active. You might want to release yours to the tops of your feet to the mat. Your choice. And breathe here. And if for any reason this feels like a little too much, you can similarly relieve yourself of the blocks and bring your hands to the mat and your forehead to the mat as well. If you want a deeper stretch, the blocks are also very nice. Your choice. Stay with your breath for this deep stretch, stimulating the heart meridian. Heart meridian runs all the way to the pinky. Do your best to breathe long, slow, deep breaths in and out. Breathe into the sensations. Soften your face, soften your jaws. Make the inhalation long and deep, and the exhalation even longer. And if at any time you wish to shift away from the blocks, if you've been on them, or from the mat to the blocks, please feel free. Breathe long, deep breaths. Fill the ribs circumferentially in all 360 degrees. The gift of breath, something we all share, every one of us. And you can practice with Ujjayi breath here. And we'll stay here for about 5 more breath cycles. And you can lower your arms, bring your hands under your shoulders, and press up. You can sit back on your heels for a few breath cycles and rotate your shoulders in both directions. And take a few breaths. That was an intense stretch. And then again, we're going to use our blocks for this heart meridian activation, placing one horizontally and the other one at the head of the mat. You can drape so the horizontal block is on the medium setting. You can drape a blanket over this one and then come to sit on your right hip. You can keep your knees bent and then bring your right arm to rest in between the two blocks. And we'll lower down so the ribs and the shoulder blade, your scapula, is resting on the block. And you can rest your head on the upright tall block. From here, once you've arrived, take a deep breath in and you can lift your left arm up and bring it either fingertips to the back of your head, if that feels good. If it feels good in your body, you can rest the arm overhead, and you can certainly move from one to the other, doing your best to keep your shoulders stacked. So the left shoulder is over the right, not coming forward or back. And as you rest here in this opening side body opener, heart meridian stimulator, see what feels good for you as you practice. And relax your face. Enjoy your breath. The vibrancy of the season expressing all around us as we breathe and allow the fibers to release as they warm. Soft jaw, soft eyes, feeling the breath on the inhalation and the exhalation. All those little intercostal muscles in between each rib, getting an opportunity to stretch and open up, making more room for breath. Taking an opportunity perhaps to reflect on that inner wisdom, the intention that has arisen for your practice. We'll be here for about 3 more breath cycles. And once you've completed your breath cycle, press your hands to the earth and press up. Coming up nice and tall, you can just shift to the other side. I'm going to move my blocks this way so I can face you. But just roll to your other side if you like. Make sure to bring the shoulder blade to rest on the block. And then rest your head on the tall block. And on a breath in, you can lift the left arm, right arm, left arm up and over. And feel those fibers all the way down into the hip, perhaps. The quadratus lumborum. If this side feels entirely different than the other side, that's not unusual. Breathe into the stretch. Do your best to keep your shoulders stacked on this side as well. And soften your face. Breathe into those sensations. Long, slow breaths in and out. And again, the Ujjayi breath, that breath of victory that occurs deep in the throat, is really beneficial and helpful in these long held poses. Do your best to stay with the breath. Long and slow. And you can always bring your hand to your head if that's helpful and beneficial, perhaps even moving in and out of the more extended version of this pose. And just knowing that we are stimulating the heart meridian, which is so beneficial. Relax your jaw, your eyes. And we'll be here for about 3 to 5 more breath cycles. Wonderful. And then please bring your hands to the mat to help yourself come back up. And we'll take wide child's pose. So again, you might like to use a blanket under your knees. And you can move the blocks aside. Take your knees wide. Bring your sits bones towards your heels and draw your belly in. And then walk your hands overhead. Draw the inner groins in and lengthen over the earth. And of course, you can place a block under your forehead if that's helpful. And you can just rest your forearms on the mat. Feel the space across the back body, especially around the sacrum. And breathe into that space. Breathe into the space around the kidneys, the mid-back. And you can roll and rock your forehead back and forth on the mat or the block, if that feels good in your body. And again, breathe into the upper back, into the space behind your heart. Enjoying your breath. And if you like, you can activate your arms and lift your palms up off the mat and draw your shoulder blades down toward your hips. Breathe and enjoy your breath. Let your face relax so much it just falls right off. Long, slow, deep breaths. Again, breathing into sensations as they arise. And again, bringing awareness to that intention or the inner wisdom that spoke to you when we began. Let it guide you through your practice. And we'll be here for 3 more breath cycles. And if you've activated your arms, you can let them come back to the mat. Bring your hands under your shoulders, spread your fingers wide and press up. And then lift your knees back to hip width distance apart. Finding your blocks once again, we'll practice fish pose or a supported fish pose. And if that is not appropriate in your practice, you can also practice with mountain brook. So fish brings blocks like this, one at the tallest setting and the second one at the medium setting. You can choose to place a blanket over that second lower block if you like. Also, mountain brook, you can practice by rolling the blanket like this and placing it right across the upper back, right under your armpits. For supported fish, you come to a seat. Either way, we'll come to a seat. And for supported fish, the lower block comes right between your shoulder blades and the upper block, of course, under your head. Either way, with mountain brook or supported fish, bring your arms to either side and open the palms towards the sky. Keep the back of your neck long. And once you've arrived, you can bring your knees to the sky. You can bring the soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana or Supta Baddha Konasana. Or you can lengthen your legs and keep them slightly active with the toes towards the sky. So you have options. And as you take this pose, feel your expansive ribs or the expanse of the ribs, creating more spaciousness again for breath, opening through the collarbones and the shoulders. If you feel your chin popping up higher than your forehead, do your best to draw it back down towards your sternum, lengthening the skin along the back of your neck. And soften your jaw, the tongue in your mouth, your eyes. Feel the deliciousness of the ribs as they become more spacious with room for the breath to fully expand into your chest, into the lungs. And we'll be here for, again, maybe 3 to 5 more breath cycles. And then please bring your feet back to the mat, bending at the knees. And if you're in supported fish, draw your belly in as you lift yourself back up with your hands and your core. And we're going to practice supported bridge pose now. So again, we'll be using a block, just one block for this pose. And you can lower back down onto the mat. Keep your block handy and bring your heels towards your sits bones so they just brush the ends of your fingertips as you lengthen your arms along your side. And second toe faces directly away from you, and shoulder blades come right under your back. And then please lengthen the back of your neck once again, and take a moment to lift your hips for just a moment, and then set the whole pelvis back down, lengthening through the tailbone. Feeling the back body completely resting on the mat. So you're not arching up through the back, but you're nice and long through your spine. And then finding all four corners of both feet, making contact with those four corners of your feet. We'll take a breath in and lift the hips up, and then set the block under, either on the first or the second setting, your choice. And then set your hips back down on the block and make sure you feel secure and supported by the block placed just right under your sacrum. And once again, come to your breath. Notice the inhalation and the exhalation. As you release your hips down into the block and begin to feel gravity in your body as the organs sink back and down towards your heart. Feeling the softening effects of this slight inversion. Calming and peaceful. If at any time you feel your chin lift up towards the ceiling or the sky, do your best to lengthen the back of the neck once again. Soften your face, soften your jaws. And enjoy your breath. And if you like, option to lift both legs up to the sky, making sure you feel steady and stable on the block beneath you. If you lift your legs, please energize them, lifting out through the toe tips. So there's about 20 to 30% muscle energy in the legs. That's just a guess. Maybe it's 40%. Maybe it's 50%. Just enough. And again, feel that gravitational force in the body with the legs lifted if you choose.
And option to take the legs out to both sides. If you do, please really do energize those legs, even to the point of dorsiflexing the feet to protect your ligaments. Hug the muscles to the bones. And you can take your hands right under your thighs to support if you like or not, whatever feels best for you in your practice. Listening, always listening to your body, to the inner wisdom of your own body. It is important, however, to hug the muscles to the bones to protect ligaments. Not advantageous to hang in the joints. And if you've taken this wide angled pose, please bring your feet back up to the sky. And at any time, feel free to lower the feet to the mat, bringing them in alignment with the hips and under the knees. So the ankles are aligned under the knees and the toes are facing away. And we'll stay here for about 3 more breaths. Complete breath cycles. Deep breaths in and longer breaths out. And then finding all 4 corners of both feet, really connecting with those. Press in and lift your hips once again. Scoot that block out from under you, and with lots of awareness, slowly roll down, 1 vertebrae at a time. And as you do, lengthen through the tailbone before placing the sacrum on the mat. Resist the urge to move now before grounding through your tailbone as though it's glued to the mat. And then draw the knees 1 at a time in as you dorsiflex the feet. And you can lay your hands across your shins and simply allow the thigh bones to journey slowly down towards the chest. And if your chin, like my chin, popped back up, lengthen the back of the neck once again. And breathe into it, patiently allowing these legs to make their journey. Relax your shoulders and your face. Perfect. And then please roll to your right side and press up. So nice to see your smiling faces. So wonderful. Please get your blanket. We'll practice Sphinx and seal poses. And for that, we'll take the blanket in this orientation, fold it once to support the lumbar spine.
And it's going to go right across like this, right under the pelvis. And then lower yourself down onto the mat. And bring your forearms to the mat, elbows right under the shoulders. And spread your fingers wide. Place the tops of your feet on the mat, pressing the toenails into the mat. And then press the fingertips into the mat as well, as though you're clawing them into the mat. Draw the shoulder blades down the back body, away from the ears and towards the hips as you send the tailbone towards your heels and zip up from the pubic bone to the navel center. From here, bring awareness to the inner elbow and bring energy from the inner elbow up into the inner armpit. And then down from the outer armpit to the outer elbow. I find in this pose, it's best to scan my body from the toes all the way up through the pelvis, the shoulders, the collarbones spread wide. Awareness in the fingertips, the arms, the armpits, and the chest and the heart. Draw forward as you claw your fingertips a little more into the mat, lengthening through the neck and the crown of the head. Feeling that broad, expansive quality through the ribs once again, feeling expansiveness and spaciousness, room for breath. As you breathe deeply in and out, keep drawing the pubic bone towards the belly button, sending the tailbone towards the heels. So you take the strain, if any, out of your lower lumbar. That's why the blanket is under us. And at any time, feel free to shift into seal pose. And for that, you can take your hands to the corners of your mat and then turn your fingers out at a 45-degree angle. Draw your belly in and back into the back body. And with an external rotation at the head of the arm bones, keep zipping up from the pubic bone to the navel center. Shoulder blades drawing down the back, neck is long. Active legs. Seal pose. If the shoulders pop up, draw them down. Zip up, take any pressure out of the lumbar spine by drawing the belly in and back and the tailbone down, down towards the heels. Long neck, expansive through the collarbones, and you can come in and out of Sphinx and Seal at your desire. Listen to your body. And please do scan from your toe tips. Give yourself cues with your own inner awareness. Let your body speak to you as you breathe here. Strengthening the back body, opening the front body. Breathe into those ribs. Enjoy your breath.
Hug those shoulder blades into the back ribs, strengthening the muscles all around the scapula, your shoulder blades. Help keep the shoulder girdle healthy and operating in synchronization with all the different muscles in those shoulders. Complex shoulders. And we'll be in these poses for another 5 breath cycles. And soften your jaw, soften your face. And then please, from here, you can take your forearms across the top of your mat and lay your forehead on your arms. Once you've lowered down all the way like that, send your hips gently from side to side. Slow, slow movements, please. And then take a few breaths while you allow yourself to rest in this prone Shavasana-like pose. Just a few breaths here before we come into our next pose. And then please bring your hands under your shoulders. We'll press up and take reverse windshield wiper from table pose. Just send the hips, again, slowly from side to side. Great. And then scoot your blanket off your mat. And we're going to come into another pose on our tummies, winged bird. So to practice winged bird, we'll take your left arm out to the side, bring your right hand right under your shoulder, and press yourself back. I'm going to show it on the other side. So if you bring your left hand under your shoulder and extend your right arm out to the side, and then roll. So you're like this. And the extended arm is just simply out behind you with your palm laying on the earth. And you can bring your upper leg, if it feels good in your practice, you can bring your upper leg back behind you or not. And as always, please listen to your body. Listen to the wisdom of your own body. Remember, sensation is fine. Pain, not fine. So if you go to the point of your extreme extension, back off a little bit. You don't have to go to your edge. You can start a little bit prior to that point. And then once here, relax and breathe. Winged bird. And soften your face. Soften your eyes. Breathe in and out slowly. Enjoying each breath. And perhaps bringing awareness once again to that inner guidance. We'll be here for about 2 more breath cycles. Enjoying the breath as it flows in and out. And on your next inhalation, take a deep breath in and then roll back onto your tummy. Take a couple of breaths. Let your arms and shoulders rest. Before we take the other side. And then we can take the other side, extending the left arm out to the side. We'll take our right hand underneath the shoulder and come on to this other side. Enjoy your breath. Again, if you find your edge, come out of it just a tad. And soften into the sensations. Deep breaths in, long breaths out. Feeling the beat of your heart on this beautiful spring day. Even though the calendar hasn't marked it as spring, spring is definitely showing herself. And perhaps as you breathe here, you might find yourself coming a little more deeply into this pose, winged bird. And we'll be here for 3 more breath cycles. And then slowly roll back onto your tummy. And you can bring your hands under your forehead. And just take 3 or 4 breath cycles here. And then please press up, use your hands to bring yourself back up. And we'll come onto our backs now. Once you've arrived on your back, bring your feet to the mat once again in constructive rest pose. Your feet right under your knees, your ankles right under your knees, hip-width distance apart. And just simply arrive. Lift your hips for a moment and extend your tailbone a little farther down. Notice your chin if it lifts. Lengthen the back of your neck once again. Let your shoulders rest into the mat. And we'll take twisted roots. On an inhalation, please lift your right leg up and over, cross it over, all the way over so your knees are resting upon one another. Perfect. And then heel toe your left foot to the left of your mat. On an inhalation, lift your hips to the left. And you can take your arms out into a T with your palms towards the sky. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, let your knees come over to the right. And of course, you can always use a blanket or a block under your knees if that's beneficial, that's helpful. And if it feels good in your practice, you can turn to look over towards your left fingertips. Once you've arrived here in this nice deep twist, take a beautiful deep breath into your left armpit. Feel the left lobe of the lung, the ribs, the side waist, the hip, and then send the breath all the way out the knees. Enjoy your breath. Enjoy the spaciousness in your body, as well as the dense places. Enjoy your breath, enjoy each moment. May you be happy and peaceful. May you be healthy and strong. May you be filled with loving kindness and forgiveness. And may you live and practice with so much ease and grace. Let your shoulders just simply ooze down into your mat. Feel the softness in your neck, your jaws, and your face. And we'll be here for a few more breaths. Take this opportunity to fully expand the lungs, expand the ribs. And to come out of the pose, draw your belly in, press your arms into the earth, and then take a deep breath in and lift your legs back up. Good. Uncross them. Place your feet on the mat and lift your hips back to the center of your mat. Take a couple of breaths right here. Again, check in with your spine. If your hips, or if your lower back is lifting up and arching away from the earth, then draw it back down, maybe lifting your hips and lengthening through your tailbone. Notice your chin and the back of your neck. Draw your chin towards your sternum. Relax your shoulders. And on your next breath in, cross your left knee over your right. Good. And then heel toe your feet to the side of your mat. And on an inhalation, lift your hips to the right. On your next breath in, send the knees as you exhale to the left. And if it feels good in your body, turn to look over towards your right fingertips. Again, feel free to place support under your thighs or your knees. And do your best to relax your shoulders. Relax your neck, your jaws, your face, and your eyes. As you breathe, invite the breath into your right armpit, the right lobe of the lung and ribs, the waist and the hip. And then release that breath right out through your knees. Feel the breath as it expands through the ribs. Deep breaths in, long breaths out. This breath that we all share truly bonds us as one. The practice of yoga, union. And bring awareness to your shoulders. Let them rest into the mat. And we'll be here for just a couple more breath cycles. And again, to come out of the pose, draw your belly in, press the arms into the earth. Take an inhalation to lift the knees. And then uncross your legs. Press into all four corners of your feet and lift your hips back to the center of your mat. Good. From here, glue your tailbone towards the earth and notice your lower back. If it's popping up, draw it back down. Notice your chin, the back of your neck. And we'll take a deep breath in and draw the knees back in towards the chest. Flexing the feet, toes to the sky. Relax your shoulders. Soften your face. Enjoy your breath. Good. From here, reach for your feet or your ankles or your knees, maybe your thighs, and come into happy baby pose. Feel that stretch through the adductors, your inner thighs. Breathe into the pelvic floor, the root chakra. Draw the knees down towards the earth. If your hands reach your feet, you can isometrically press the feet into the hands into the feet. Lengthening the back of the neck once again. Relaxing the shoulders as you breathe. Long breaths in and even longer breaths out. Letting the shoulders soften, the jaw soften. Again, connecting with that intention or your inner guidance for your practice today. Breathe into the sensations and listen to your body. Listen to the inner body, the inner wisdom. Take it slow and easy, and maybe you come into Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing your soles of your feet together, pressing the knees out. Stay long through the back of your neck once again. We'll stay here for a few breaths, in and out. And then bring the knees back together. Apanasana. Hug the knees in as much as you like. And if you like, you can lift your head towards your knees. And a couple of breaths here in tiny bug pose. And then take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, open up like a beautiful spring flower. Come into Shavasana. Open it up. Let your legs find space in between them. Arms spread wide. Room between your side bodies and your arms. Draw the shoulder blades under your back and even out the weight on your sacrum. Cover yourself with a blanket if there's a chill. Stay warm. And once you feel you're in your perfect resting pose, Shavasana, take a deep, beautiful breath in. And as you exhale, let that breath flow all the way down and out the soles of your feet. And another one just like that. And let it go. And as you continue to breathe long and slow, feel the soles of your feet as they relax and let go. And your ankles, feel those relax. And your knees. And your hips. And your armpits. Elbows. Wrists. And relax your fingers and your thumbs. Relax your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, your hips, your knees, ankles, and toes. And come to your shoulders, your neck, your jaws, all the bones of your face. And relax your scalp. And let your brain grow heavy and sink back in your skull. Feel your skin as it drapes over your bones. Melting all around you. As you sink into your mat, into the earth, the sweet spring earth. Mm.
And very softly and gently begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. The gift of breath, the rise and the fall of the breath in your ribs and belly. Bring awareness back to your fingertips and your toe tips. Begin to feel the sensation of aliveness in those. And then you can rub your thumbprint on each fingertip. And begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. And rotate your wrists and your ankles slowly in both directions. And then take a deep breath in and a luxurious stretch, lifting your arms overhead, pointing your toes. Take a big breath and let it all go. Take any little movement that might feel good in your body before rolling to your right side. And enjoy a few breaths there. Let it all settle in into the very fabric of your being. All the spaciousness, all that you've released, all that you've opened into today in your practice. And then when you're ready, use your hands and your arms to press up and find a seat once again on your mat. And then please bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra right in front of your heart and bow your head to your heart with gratitude for all it gives to you and all it shines out to the world. Your beautiful heart. Gratitude for one another and each of our hearts that shine together. And gratitude for all the teachings, all the practices that shine light on our paths. Gratitude for all those who have gone before. Gratitude for this moment and for each breath. And sending loving kindness out into the world. Please join me. And again, may all beings be happy. May they be peaceful. May all beings everywhere be healthy and strong. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings be loving and kind and forgiving. And may all beings everywhere live with ease and grace every day of their lives. And let's join together in one Om. We'll simply inhale and begin. Om. Thank you so much for your practice. I hope you enjoy this beautiful spring day. It's spring. It's just not on the calendar. From my heart to your hearts, Namaste.